Usisahau kusubscribe, kucomment, kulike na kushare ili kuwa kwanza kupata habari mbalimbali kutoka Dar24 Media.
Soka Base.
Shirikisho la Soka nchini Tanzania TFF limekanusha taarifa za kuwa mbioni kubadilisha uwanja utakaotumika kwa ajili ya mchezo wa Fainali Kombe la Shirikisho ASFC utakaounguruma Julai 25 kati ya Mabingwa Watetezi wekundu Msimbazi Simba dhidi ya Young Africans. Fununu za mabadiliko ya Uwanja zimeeleza mchezo huo wa Fainali umepangwa kuchezwa kunako Uwanja wa Benjamin Mkapa jijini Dar es Salaam badala ya Uwanja wa Lake Tanganyika, kwa kigezo cha uwanja huo kuwa na uwezo mdogo wa kuchukua mashabiki wanaotarajiwa kushuhudia mchezo huo wakiwa ndani ya uwanja. Afisa habari wa Shirikisho la Kabumbu nchini Tanzania TFF Clifford Mario Ndimbo amesema taarifa hizo sio za kweli na uwanja wa Lake Tanganyika utaendelea kuwa mwenyeji wa mchezo huo unaosubiriwa kwa mkubwa na mashabiki wa soka ndani na nje ya Tanzania. Hizo ni tetesi tu za kubadilishwa kwa uwanja. Mchezo utapigwa hapo hapo kama ilivyopangwa awali, amesema Ndimbo. Kuelekea mchezo huo, Young Africans kupitia kwa makamu mwenyekiti wa kamati ya mashindano Engineer Hersi Saidi amesema, tumejiandaa vizuri kwa ajili ya kuhakikisha tunaibuka na ushindi dhidi ya Simba katika mchezo wetu wa fainali ya Kombe la Shirikisho. Muhimu katika mchezo huu ni kubeba taji hilo. Tunakwenda kwa ajili ya kushinda na si kingine. Wakati huo huo, kocha mkuu wa timu ya taifa ya Tanzania kwa vijana wenye umri usiozidi miaka 23 Kim Paulsen ametaja kikosi cha wachezaji 20 kitakachoingia kambini kujiandaa na michuano ya ukanda Afrika Mashariki na Kati (CECAFA) inatarajiwa kuanza mwezi huu kule nchini Ethiopia. Katika kikosi hicho kilichotajwa na Kim Paulsen leo Ijumaa Julai 16 mwaka 2021 kwenye makao makuu ya Shirikisho la Kandanda nchini Tanzania TFF, idadi kubwa ya wachezaji ni wale wanaocheza kwenye timu zinazoshiriki ligi kuu ya soka Tanzania bara msimu wa mwaka 2020-2021 ambao utafikia tamati siku ya Jumapili Julai 18. Nyota hao ni makipa Metacha Mnata anayetokea katika klabu ya Young Africans, Daniel Mgore Biashara United Mara na Wilbord Makese kutoka Azam FC. Upande wa mabeki ni Israel Mwenda na Lusajo Mwaikenda, wote wanatokea katika kikosi cha KMC FC. Nixon Kibabage anayechezea katika klabu ya Yusufia FC ya huko nchini Morocco. Pascal Msindo na Sospita Israel wote kutoka Azam FC. Abdul Majid Mangalo kutoka Biashara United Mara, Abdul Razak Hamza kutoka Mbeya City na Oscar Masai kutoka IHFC. Viungo ni Lucas Kikote kutoka Namungo FC, Joseph Mkele kutoka Mtibwa Sugar na Rajab Othmani, pasi na kumsahau Meshak Abraham, wote wanatokea katika klabu ya Gwambina FC. Washambuliaji ni Eric Mwijage na Yusuf Muhilu, wote kutoka katika klabu ya Kagera Sukari, Lerian Telusajo kutoka Namungo FC, Endro Senchimba kutoka IHFC na Abdul Suleiman Sopu kutoka Coastal Union. Kim ameweka bayana kuwa hajawajumuisha wachezaji wanaocheza nje ya nchi kutokana na muda mchache wa maandalizi. Wakati Nixon Kibabage anacheza ligi kuu ya soka huko nchini Morocco, amejumuishwa kutokana na kuwepo hapa nchini Tanzania kwa sasa. Lerian Telusajo, Muhilu na Sospita Bryson ni wachezaji watatu waliozidi umri wa miaka 23, lakini wameitwa kwenye kikosi hicho kwa mujibu wa sheria inayoruhusu wachezaji watatu waliozidi umri kutumika kuongeza nguvu. Timu hiyo itaingia kambini siku ya Jumatatu Julai 19 kujiandaa na michezo hiyo, ambapo itacheza michezo miwili dhidi ya DR Congo na Uganda kuanzia Julai 22 kule nchini Ethiopia.
This press about the CECAFA Under 23 Challenge Cup 2021 in Bahia, Dar in Ethiopia. They will take 9 countries will take part, and there will be 3 pools, and we will be in the pool together with Uganda and DR Congo. So it's going to be some tough games we have to play, and we are going to play on the 22nd of July, and then we are going to play again on the 25th of July. Players, they can see is that the under 23 team is the link, is the feeding line to the Taifa Stars. It's the future players, it's the players of tomorrow, and there should be a line, a feeding line from under 17 to under 20 to under 23 and on to Taifa Stars. For this time, for the selection, no players from abroad are selected. It's only players inside, except one player, Nixon Kibabage, who is already in Dar. He is here at the moment, so we will take him for the tournament. that's the reason. But we are not starting to pick players from outside Tanzania for this time. Unfortunately, the players from Yanga and Simba who could be in the picture, like Dixon, Faisal, and so on, will not be there because they have to play the cup final on the 25th of July, which of course is the first priority for them. We fully understand that. So we can't select any players from there because they are playing on the 25th and we are playing our 2 games on the 22nd and the 25th. So it doesn't make any sense. 3 of the players who can be the senior player, in some way we want that these players are a part of, they reflect that they are already a part of the national, of the Taifa Stars. So the 3 senior players we have selected for this tournament is Muhilo from Kagera, who was with the national team last time, and it's Bryson from Assam, who was selected last time, but unfortunately he got injured and he couldn't take part in the camp. And then there's the striker Reliant from Namungu. He has not been with the national team so far. But that's the 3 players above 23 who are taking part. There will be other players who are already in the national team, like Mecha, he will be there, like Israel will be there, Emnata will be there. They have all already been within the Taifa Stars. There are also some players selected who have been with the under 20 team before when they played in Morocco. It's like Abdul from Coastal Union, Joseph from Antigua Sugar, and a few others. Normally I always say on this press meeting that the will to win is important, but the will to be prepared is even more important. But unfortunately, this time we didn't have the chance to bring the players in a camp and do our preparation. Why? Because the Vodacom Premier League is on at the moment. Yesterday was the second last round, and on Sunday is the last round, and we can't take any players at the moment because we have to respect that a lot of teams is definitely in the relegation, who will be relegated, who will not be relegated. So we have to wait for Sunday's final Vodacom Premier League round, and that means we are going to assemble the team on Monday, the 19th, and then on the day after, on the 20th, we are going to departure to Bahir Dar in Ethiopia, and then we are going to play on the 22nd. I'm sorry about it, because I really would like to have some time, a week or 2 weeks to prepare with the team. And I know some of our opponents, which their league is not on at the moment. I know Uganda have been playing Saudi Arabia for a couple of international friendly to prepare. And the tournament actually already starts the day after tomorrow. So we are coming a little bit late into the tournament, which means that Uganda and DR Congo, our 2 opponents, they are already playing their first game the day after tomorrow. And we have to remember, when we play in Ethiopia, there's one challenge, which I have realized before with the Taifa Stars. When you go to Ethiopia and you play in the high altitude of close to 2,000 meters, Bahir Dar is close to 2,000 meters, 1,800 and something. It is, you need to acclimatize, and to acclimatize, you need time. But we don't have much time because we are coming on the 20th and we have to play on the 22nd. So that is the condition for this tournament. We didn't have the time to prepare with the players, but end of the day, I'm happy that we can go there and we can give the young player, the players of tomorrow, we can give them international exposure, which is so important for the development of these players. And they will definitely get some tough games, because I know DR Congo, which we also are facing in the World Cup qualifier very soon, and Uganda is always have a strong team. So there will be 2 tough games for us, and we have to use the time, the few days we have, to assemble the team and prepare the team so we are ready to play on the 22nd of July. The selection of the team. The 3 goalkeepers will be Mtasha from Yanga, it will be George Mbisa from Wadui, Wilbol Masege from Assam. Then it will be Israel Mwenda for KMC. Nixon Kibabache from Morocco. And then we have Lusajo Elukaka from KMC. Raison from Assam. Oscar Masai from Ihefu. Lucas Kikoti from Namungu. Joseph Mkele from Mchiba Sugar. Rajab Hassan Atuman from Gambawina. Mechak from Gambawina. Reliant Lusajo from Namungu. Eric from Kagera Sugar. Andrew from Ihefu. Abdul Hamisi from Coastal Union. Pascal Gaudens from Assam. Abdul Razak from Mbeya City. And Abdul Maji Mangalo and Yusuf Mihelo from Kagera Sugar. That is the 20 players who are selected to go to Ethiopia and play the Under-23 Challenge Cup. I think that's information I try to highlight for you, but you are most welcome to ask if you have some questions. I will try to answer best possible. Feel free.
Any questions?
Yes.
According to clarification you have said after that we didn't have much preparation for more time to prepare our national team. So it means we are going to participate in this tournament not to compete. With Tanzanians and the football fans, they have to say that we are going to compete. The tournament is not true. We are going to participate, not compete, according to the preparation we have made. The second question, in squad, a lot of them, I could say almost 100% of the squad, they are playing in the Premier League. We have not had any player from youth clubs under 20 maybe, because we can prepare these players for upcoming tournaments, more preparation for upcoming adversaries. We have not yet had some youth players in this squad.
For your first question, we definitely go there to compete. I'm just trying to highlight that sometimes you have a preparation for a long time, sometimes you have for a short time. For this preparation, it was not possible to do the longer preparation. At least the players are playing, as you mentioned, in the Premier League, so they should all be fit and ready to play. So we will assemble the team. And I can tell you 100% we are going there to compete with DR Congo and Uganda to win our games. That's the reason we are there. So I will put that very straightforward, we are there to compete. At the same time, when you go to compete, you always want to have the best possible preparation. But today it's very often, sometimes you can have a good preparation, sometimes you have a shorter preparation, but end of the day you are going to compete anyway. So we are going to compete. For the players who are selected, I think it's very normally that the most talented players, they make their way through whatever they play, second division, first division, so they come into the Premier League because of the talent, and that's the reason it reflects that the majority of the players are from the Premier League. And I'm happy that these players are getting the exposure every week in the Premier League, because that is a part of their development, and that's the reason they are selected for the under-23 team. If we had have some really strong academy and some players who was there, I think these players, they will also be selected, or they would even play in the Premier League and they will be selected from the Premier League. And as you can see, it's not from one club or two clubs, it's from quite all over where we try to find the most talented player we have. I hope that's answer enough for your question. It's okay?
Yes.
Good, thank you very much.
Another question?
Yes, question. You're called surprised, but the kind of surprise that he simply called the game country Simba against the Yanga, that Roma. So it means that there are some players who miss on the does that affect your plan? Because there are many tournaments. Also, I would like to know your view about the overview. How do you see our Premier League? How do you see the performance of several contracts working involved with the league? Who have been involved with this league?
What was the first part of the question?
First question, that it seems that the other game, every game, does that affect your plan?
No, I think there's always, when you select a team, you know, you have the number of players, then there's a number of players who are injured, there are a number of players who are not in form at the moment, there are some players who cannot play because they're maybe down with sickness. That's a part of the game, so that will not affect it. I was just mentioning that we have to respect that there is a cup final on the 25th, and some of the players, of course, they have to play that game. I think for the Vodacom Premier League, from my opinion, I think every country have to find the right balance of the number of teams, which is the good number. Yesterday I went out to see 3 games because I could see the game at Uhuru Stadium with KMC and the JKT, and then I could see Yanga and Iheshimiwe, and then Assam and Simba. And to be honest, yes, there was a difference from the quality from one game to another game, because there is a different level of competition. So from my opinion, I think that now when you reduce the Vodacom Premier League from 18 teams to 16 teams, I think that will have a positive effect on the competitiveness in the league. Because, well, I think there's many things. You need to have the number of teams who have the financial muscle to have a good squad. You also need to have the structure that you have good pitches. I think sometimes when I go and see a Vodacom Premier League game, I'm surprised about the quality of the pitch, because I think it's very difficult to play some good football on some of these grounds, and that should be some of the criteria to raise the standard all over. But I think the movement now to reduce the number of teams, I think that's a good step forward to increase the competitiveness and the quality of the Vodacom Premier League. But there are many things, because I think there are so many things you can work on. How about the academy? Can you make the academy stronger, make more academy regulation, which they do in other countries? There are many ideas, and I know TFF, they have to work on these ideas as well. But I'm still enjoying to go out and see the Vodacom Premier League, that's for sure. I'm enjoying that.
2 last questions based on the Under-23 press conference, please.
Yes.
2 days ago, the Under-20 tournament finished. What's your comment, and what about the performance of Kombe?
Sorry, we are talking about Under-23, not Under-20. Shapiro?
Coach, maybe among those 20 players, what's the kind of criteria you using to select those?
It's the usual criteria that, first of all, you look how many players can you bring. Okay, you can bring 20 players. Then you have to find a balance to say, should we go with 2 goalkeepers? Should we go with 3 goalkeepers? How many defenders? How many midfielders? How many strikers? So already there you set some criteria. Then you try to, if you look at the back line, you see, okay, we need to have someone who can play on the right side, the left side, inside, central, and maybe you have 1 or 2 players who can move to different positions, so you cover up any, because when we go there with 20 players, it's not many players, and we know that they can be injured. We also know we have to go for COVID test. We never know what happens in these days, so we try to make the team, first of all, that it's flexible, that one player maybe is a midfield player, but he can also play in there. And then the most important thing, we look at the individual player, what quality do we have? And we are not only looking at his performance, but we're also looking at his potential for the future. Because there are some players, which I have seen with the national team a couple of times now, like you can take Meshak and Abdul. I think they are grooming themselves slowly, and hopefully it's a matter of time before they will step in with full power on the national team. So that's some of the criteria we are using.
Hii ni Dar24 Media, taarifa bila mipaka. Langu jina ni Shaban Kondo. Usisahau kusubscribe, kulike, kucomment na kushare. Pia waweza kutembelea tovuti yetu kwa anwani ya www.dar24.com. Lakini katika mitandao ya kijamii tunapatikana kwa akaunti ya Dar24 News. Pitia huko uweze kupata habari mbalimbali kutoka nchini Tanzania na nje ya mipaka ya Tanzania. Lengo letu ni kujuza kile ambacho kinaendelea kwa hapa nyumbani na duniani kwa ujumla. Shukran na kila la kheri.
Usisahau kusubscribe, kucomment, kulike na kushare ili kuwa wa kwanza kupata habari mbalimbali kutoka Dar24 Media.
Soka Base.